today's episode of the Get the Top podcast. We're gonna you got a double episode. We're gonna review what happened this past weekend, local rundown, preview what's coming up. We are gonna be gone out of town. A lot of racing going on coming up. So no Thursday episode. We're doing a double this one, and we got pick'em reviews, new pick'ems, and we got an awesome interview with Stephen Harrison. So let's get into the show. Welcome into the Get to the Top podcast. I'm your host, Kyle Horn, here with my co-host, Kevin Myrtle, a.k.a. Myrtle. How you doing today, Myrtle?
Doing great, buddy. You?
I might not have to say, well, I'm doing good, but I might not have to say Kevin Myrtle anymore. I think we've done enough episodes that they know that you're Myrtle.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I'm doing pretty good, other than the fact it's pretty hot and humid in this podcast studio today.
Sorry, YouTube guys, if you see us sweating. It's quite warm in here.
We just had a little bit of a rain shower, bringing a lot of humidity, and the fans that run in here that keep it cool mess with the audio, so we can't run them. So, with that being said, make sure the mic's recording. Sorry in my behalf for the dirty shirt. We've been loading up go-karts. We got a little bit of go-kart track racing action outside the studio now. We're going to run a few laps, test it out. Maybe get some videos for the YouTube and the podcast reel, maybe something. We'll figure something out. Might have something posted on Facebook, something like that. With that being said, we want to thank our sponsors. We want to thank S&S Seal Coat, Driveway Repair, Jennings Property Solutions, Smith Farm Equipment Repair, J. Edward Groom with Long & Foster Real Estate. Thanks for all them helping us out. Want to talk about the fact about the giveaway. There was kind of a short period of time and didn't really have a lot of action on it, so we're going to double people that shared it the last weekend that to be entered into the giveaway. You will be doubly entered if you share it again, and then the new people that share, you will be entered into it. So we'll get that done next week. It'll be a giveaway of the gift card $20 for the Palms in Lexington. We have plenty more coming with the Bistro, the Palms. We're going to have some new ideas on how to give those away. With that being said, I think we're ready to get into the episode, Myrtle.
Let's get into it.
All right, what do you got, Myrtle? I know we had the Lucas Oil at Port Royal. What happened there?
Garrett Alberson finally breaks it through and gets his first win on the last lap of the first night for $10,000 to win.
Got by Devin Moran, right?
Yes, Devin Moran. He got by Devin, and then Hudson O'Neill third, Jonathan Davenport fourth, Ricky Thornton Jr. fifth, Dalton Wilson sixth, Max Blair 7th, Mason Ziegler 8th, Mike Marler 9th, and Rick Eckert rounds out your top 10.
So, a good race on Friday. Congrats to Garrett Alberson picking up the first career win, Lucas Oil. Like Myrtle said, took the last lap pass to finally get it done. Anything interesting you saw that night? I know the modifieds are running. What you got on the modifieds? You got anything?
I did end up watching heat races. Seeing where one of the guys we had interviewed, Austin Wayne Self, he was running up in the second spot. I don't know what happened to his winding net, but that thing was flapping in the wind too. I don't know if he disconnected it because he couldn't see out the window, or it just came unhooked. That thing just sitting there flapping, hitting the side of the door, going down the straightaways. Well,
Myrtle, real quick, if you could see what the results were on that, I'll start talking about the big $50,000 win at Port Royal. That Rumble by the River, I believe is what they call it.
Yeah, the Rumble by the River.
Started a few years ago. Kyle Larson was the inaugural winner. I was at that race. Awesome race. It's also an awesome race to go back and check out and watch because it was like his first weekend in a late model and he won. That whole weekend was an awesome weekend. I'll go back and watch it every once in a while. But the Port Royal 50,000 went to Jonathan Davenport. Continues to be there at the I wouldn't say it's a crown jewel event, but the higher paying, bigger events, we tend to end up talking about Jonathan Davenport a lot. Davenport won over Ricky Thornton, Max Blair, good run for Max Blair, local to Pennsylvania, local track for him. Devin Moran, Tim McCready, Drake Troutman, Tim McCready in the Rocket 2.0, something we need to talk about. He won last week in the Topics. I don't think we mentioned it. But they got the XR1 2.0, something like that out.
It's a XR 1.2.
1.2, okay. So that's what they've been running. He was fast qualifier, won his heat race on Friday. So maybe getting a little bit more traction out of the Rockets. Hudson O'Neal was 7th. Ross Robinson was 8th. I think he's also in the new Rocket. Could be wrong, but I believe he is. Carson Ferguson and Alex Ferree ran out your top 10. Dalton Wilson was 11th, the guy we commonly talk about on the podcast, but ended up finishing 11th.
Why are you talking about Dalton Wilson? What's the points look like now for the top 8?
The top 8, I wonder if Dirt on Dirt's got it. This week I didn't bring the computer, so if you hear me using my phone, I think sometimes it comes through the mic. It's just me going Dirt on Dirt. I'm kind of debating on if I like using the computer or just my phone. I'm gonna see how it sounds this week, because the computer can sometimes be a pain to try to go back. My phone's just so much quicker, and it
Why
also.
you look for points? I couldn't find Friday night modified A main, but I did find Saturdays.
They might not have had an A man on Friday night.
Maybe not, but
10,000 to win Saturday, I know.
yeah, Mason Ziegler ended up picking up the win over Kyle Strickler, Drake Troutman, Cole Felloway, Evan Taylor, Ray Cable, Michael Antebelli, Spike Moore, Jonathan Taylor, and George Dixon round out your top 10.
Where'd Austin Wayne finish?
Austin Wayne himself finished 15th, and Strimmy 20th. That's kind of surprising for me.
Yeah. He lives. They were talking about on the broadcast. David Strimmy lives next to Port Royal now. I don't know when that happened, but
It looked like Strimmy.
For those of you who don't know, David Strimmy owns Lethal Chassis for Modifieds.
Same with Glenn Elliott. He only completed 19 laps, finished 18th.
So the points chase that we ran this down last week, I believe the top 8 move on to the chase.
Yeah.
Ricky Thornton still leads. Jonathan Davenport, Devin Moran, Hudson O'Neal. That would be your final 4 if it ended today, and it is separated by 115 points to Tim McCready, who's in 5th. So he's got a little bit of ground to make up if he wants to battle for the top 4. But your top 8, he's in that battle of 8, and the ones that are in your battle of 8 are those top 4: Tim McCready, Garrett Albertson, Dalton Wilson, and Mike Marlar. Getting cut this weekend was Jimmy. I got the top 10, so getting cut this weekend was Jimmy Owens, Max Blair, Ross Robinson would have been it, and either Clay Harris or Drake Troutman, I think, would have been the ones.
Drake Troutman, I think, because Clay Harris was already out.
But those are both of them are still in contention for the Rookie of the Year points.
I think Drake's still leading that by a good margin.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure that he just took the lead not too long ago. But
Yeah, but when he took it, he ran away with it a little bit.
So that's all we got on Lucas Oil.
I got World of Outlaws pulled up Friday night.
World of Outlaws. Go ahead and give us a rundown on that one, Myrtle. They were Friday night and Saturday night. Close points battle, and we need to talk about that. Close points battle on that as well.
So Friday night, Bobby Pierce won over Brian Shirley.
At Atomic.
At Atomic, yeah. And it says on the title, Pierce dominates Atomic, ending Shirley's win streak. But the picture they got on here, it looked like they were nose to nose a lot of the race.
Yeah. So it must have been. We'll see. I'll read on it. Shirley started alongside Pierce and challenged him several times early, but settled for runner-up spot. Bobby Pierce continues on his hot streak. He hasn't had a win streak. He's had a whole season streak. But Brian Shirley did come off those 3 race wins with the World of Outlaws of the Hawkeye 100. So with that being said, did you run down the top 10, Myrtle?
No, but I can.
I got you. Bobby Pierce, Brian Shirley, Ryan Gustin, Nick Hoffman, Tyler Bruning, Brandon Shepard, Dustin Sorensen, Kyle Bronson, Adam Strickler, and R.J. Conley. Dennis Urban, that new ride, finished 11th. And that brings us to Saturday night.
It's right here.
Go ahead and give us a rundown on that, Myrtle.
And Ryan Gustin ended up winning the 15,000 Fireball 50, what they called it at Atomic. He ended up winning over Bobby Pierce, Brian Shirley, Nick Hoffman, Adam Stricker, Spencer Hughes, Brandon Shepard, Tristan Chamberlain, Kyle Bronson, and Dustin Sorensen round out your top 10. And Dennis Erb Jr. not as good tonight, 23rd.
Still getting to learn the new car. Tyler Erb, interesting to see he went to the World of Outlaws.
Freddie Carpenter finished 22nd.
So Freddie Carpenter was there. With that being said, Gustin took the win. He's a fast qualifier, 3rd on the pole. Pretty much looks like he commanded that night. That night, it's his 9th career win at the World of Outlaws. But I want to talk.
Led flag to flag.
I want to talk about the points. This is getting interesting. Brandon Shepard, who didn't have the greatest of weekends, and Nick Hoffman, who did.
Oh.
As Bobby Pierce is, he course won, and then where did he finish? He finished second.
You looking at the points?
Yep, it's That's why I wanted to talk about this. Brandon Shepard leads. Bobby Pierce and Nick Hoffman tied for second at 4,922. He leads them by 54 points. So they're both closing in on Shepard, and now Bobby Pierce has caught Nick Hoffman, and they are tied for second. That's why I wanted to bring it up. We've got a points battle shaking down here. They don't have the chase format that they do, but this year it's coming down I don't remember how many. We ran it down. We've got how many more races? I'm going to pull it up.
It should be 7 after this weekend. 7, 8 to World Finals.
You got 1, 2, 3, 4 World Finals. Well, World Finals has 3 races in it.
So 7 the championship.
7 races and we'll declare a champion. But I'm talking about you got 4 till Charlotte. That's going to shape up for a good 4 races. Or 3 races in Charlotte. And I'm hoping the
all important qualifying night at Charlotte, because you qualify for both nights on Wednesday night at Charlotte.
Right. And it's not just going to be World of Outlaws competitors there either.
You get the 410 sprint cars, but I'm not sure what their points battle looks like.
Well, I'm talking about late models, Lucas Oil, you're going to have everything.
Oh, yeah. But also track condition changes so much with the sprint cars and the big blocks.
So with that being said, we got an interesting points battle, interesting thing to keep an eye on for the rest of the season. Their next race is going to be, I believe they're off this weekend. I just exited out of it. But their next race is going to be September 14th. So they got
Everybody's taking next weekend off for the World.
Yeah, so you got
this weekend's.
World of Outlaws got this weekend off. World of Outlaws has this weekend off, and then they have Eldora. Then World of Outlaws is back in action, I believe. So, with that being said, what else do we got coming on?
Hunt the Front, I got it pulled up right now.
Go ahead on Hunt the Front then, Myrtle.
I did end up watching the feature race. It was a 5,000 to win Friday night. Jason Jameson picks up his first career win with the Hunt the Front at the opener at Lake Cumberland, behind Josh Rice, Sam Seawright, Zach Mitchell, Cameron Marlar, Dustin Leeville, Skylar Marlar, Ashton Winger, Trey Mills, and Joseph Joyner round out your top 10. I did not realize how small Lake Cumberland was until I was watching on TV. Them going just racing side by side was kind of sketchy, and it was really top dominant, but the cushion was 6 inches off a wall, and Jason Jameson nor Josh Rice had a deck left in it after Friday night. They both had to replace a deck before they could even go out Saturday.
Yep, and Myrtle leads us right into Saturday. That leads Cameron Marlar, got his first Hunt the Front win. I believe it's his first Hunt the Front.
It is.
So Cameron Marlar got that over Ashton Winger, Zach Mitchell, and that new ride. It's the Coltman Farms ride, didn't it?
Coltman Farms, yes.
So picking up speed in that new ride, Tanner English, Brandon Overton, Sam Seawright, Josh Putnam, Josh Rice, and Jason Jameson, and Joseph Joyner. Joseph Joyner back-to-back 10th place. Kind of interesting. I was just
made it good for his points battle. With the points battle going on, Sam Seawright was able to close in a little bit on the points. He's only 68 behind Brandon Overton now.
Yep, and Ashton Winger still is not trailing too far back.
36.
He's 36 behind Sam Seawright, but he's only that'd be 26 behind Sam Seawright, but he's only 115 points behind.
Give or take.
So this is shaping up to be another good points battle. So coming up
then
here,
you got Zach Mitchell and Joseph Joyner tied for 4th.
Yep. So that's a good points battle going through there. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 races left. Their next race being the same weekend as that World of Outlaws race. I believe that's going to be a Friday at Livonia for 10,000 to win.
That place is interesting. It's a flat track.
So with that being said, let's get on to some more reviews.
I got the Ultimate Motorsport Park, Ultimate South.
I know Myrtle wants to talk about this one because he likes the guy that got his win.
Yeah, Jordan Kohler picked up his first Super Late Model victory over Ben Watkins, Clay Knight, Gray Pardon, Carson Brown, Cody Wright, Tommy Jones, Luke Morey, Christian Thomas, and David Yandel, maybe.
So good run for Jordan Kohler. Obviously, well, that team that he drives for, which is Kohler Motorsports, but they own the Ultimate Motorsports Park.
And Ricky Thornton Jr.'s car.
That's what I'm getting to.
And Jimmy Owens' car.
Yeah, Jimmy Owens, Ricky Thornton. So they got cars everywhere. It's a good run for them. They got a pure stock coming out this way. I don't know if it's their car, but it looks like their car. We'll get into that. We got a race coming up we're going to preview, but they might have a pure stock or something coming out this weekend. Or at least Ricky Thornton does. So,
Yeah.
any more we need to preview besides our local?
Review, you mean?
Or review. I'm looking at it. I don't see anything.
All-Stars?
Fast Track at Latrobe got canceled. All Stars got canceled.
No, they're at
Oh,
Crossville.
they keep doing that. They change the schedule. Cancel one and they're Crowsville. So Trevor Sice picked up the win. Zach Sice, Logan Walls, Hayden Cardwell, and William Blankenship.
Hey, you know what? That's the first pick'em that I was actually decently close on.
Who'd you have?
Logan Walls. He finished third.
Well, we'll get into the pick'em here in a minute. Dirt Car Supers at Ohio Valley. Tyler Carpenter took the win over James Dennis, Ronnie Maley, and Todd Brennan, and Corey Miller.
I guess he left the World of Outlaws once he struggled the first night and said, I'm going to go pick up his $3,000. Hell with this shit.
Yep. With that being said, we didn't have much local. We always going to talk about Natural Bridge because Myrtle's usually wandering around there somewhere. So Natural Bridge, Myrtle, what you got?
Well, it kind of seemed a little empty this weekend with the crates being off, but there was 17 limited, 17 sportsmen, and about your average 15 to 12 sports or street stock and all that. Ended up being like 68 cars, but see where Matt Duggins, points leader in sportsman, he ended up picking up the win. It wasn't an easy win. I think he started like ninth and worked his way up, missed all the cautions, and just worked his way up, ended up getting in the lead. And
I don't mean to interrupt Myrtle, but we'll preview this, but we got one of the sportsman drivers on. I mentioned it, Stephen Harrison. First top 3 finish for him. A friend of mine that I know and through racing and stuff, so and through other things. So we have him on the podcast. He got his first podium this weekend in the sportsman division. So we are going to talk to him, but I'll let Myrtle finish up on that bridge.
And then for the limiteds, Joey Level I think started on pole with that. Him and Justin Williams, Jack Brown up there up front battling out, and then they kind of separated a little bit. Then you had a really good battle with Ronnie Martin Jr. and Brayson Fulton. They both battling, both crate drivers, just trying to get some practice laps in for the Crystal Cup this week. Had a really good battle for 5th, and then rest of the field kind of either pulled in. So mainly about 7 cars finished, but still good racing. Track was not too bad. Track was actually kind of smooth this week, like really tacky and all.
I want to look up Winchester. I forgot they were running. Myrtle, look that up. I'll run Elkins down real quick.
Okay.
We had another local race. It's a makeup race, the Jim Stout Memorial, 3,037 to win. Jim Stout, I believe, was part owner on Jacob Hawkins, number 37, hence the 3,037. I was at that race, and the winner was Tyler Bear. Took the win over Ryan Montgomery, local to us, Tyler Bear, so good local driver taking the win. I mean, I guess it's the local track too, but local driver Tyler Bear, Ryan Montgomery, Jacob Hawkins, Michael Lake, Chris Southern, Derek Rogers, Shane Hick, Kyle Thomas, Jamie McLeod, Mike Benham. Dirt on Dirt's right up. They do have a little interesting fact, a little nugget that's coming up, the Hillbilly 100. We'll preview that here in just a second, but their rundown is Bear earned the 3,037 and winning the makeup of the 4th annual Jim Stout Memorial, which drew 26 entries. He started 9th, took the lead on the 22nd lap of 37 laps, and won by nearly half a track margin. Here's a little nugget that I wanted to talk about. Eddie Carrier Jr. drove Steve Wheel's number 75 Rocket Chassis, a car that he will drive in the September 1st Hillbilly 100 at Tyler County. So something that be intrigued about is Eddie Carrier Jr. coming back. Well, he's been off and on in the late model, but he's got to ride for the Hillbilly 100, a track he knows pretty well at Tyler County. But the crates as well. Garrett Pugh took the win over Billy Beechler. I don't have the exact rundown. That's just off of memory. I know Brett Trimble was leading the race for a while, and he got caught up in an incident. I believe he actually don't want to talk bad on anybody. Not trying to talk bad on anybody, but talking to Billy Beechler, who we've had on the podcast, he ran into a car that was stopped on a track while leading the pace laps. So I don't know how that happened. I like Brett. I've talked to him, and he works at Rocket, but I don't know if he's checking his phone or something, but don't want to talk bad. I mean, maybe I don't know what was going on. I wasn't in the driver's seat, but that's what he did. He ran into a car leading the race. But Yeah. So congrats to Billy B. Good runs. He was fast qualifier actually. Didn't agree with the heat race. I believe it was. I was there watching. I believe he got jumped 3 times, and they called 2 of them back, but they didn't call the last one back.
I seen where he made a post on Facebook. I don't know what that one was about.
Yeah. So I believe that should have been taken back. He's a fast qualifier starting to pull the heat, and he, in my opinion, got jumped on 3 of the starts, and I guess they just gave up and didn't call the 3rd one back, which they should have. But still, salvaged the 2nd place finish, coming off a win at Natural Bridge. So good back-to-back runs for Billy Beach as he heads into I know he's aiming for the Crystal Cup. We'll preview here in just a minute. I know he's going to be setting his sights on at least Natural Bridge and Beckley for that. So good little momentum coming into that. Like I said, a little bit touched on the super race. Tyler Baird won. Jacob Hawkins led most of the race. Ended up breaking something in the rear end after he got the 2nd. I don't know if it happened in the restart or something like that. Just talking to him and some other people. And so he fell back to 3rd. But Tyler Baird pretty much, once he got up, he started 9th, came up to the lead. Once he got up there, pretty much ran. I mean, dirt on dirt tells it all. I mean, it's 7.5 seconds, I believe. Pretty much ran away with that one. And I believe, just from watching the race, I believe he probably would have had depending on how lap traffic went, they got a caution when he got into lap traffic. So maybe that made it more interesting. Maybe he would have lapped a ton of people. I don't know. But once they went back green, he stretched out to 7 seconds, and everybody else was kind of back there battling. Ryan Montgomery, Jacob Hawkins, Michael Lake had a real good battle going on for 2nd. So it's a good race overall, especially for 2nd. But I mean, Tyler Baird just ran away with that one. So good run for them. Good run for a local driver, picking up a win at a local track. So with that being said, Myrtle was going to talk about.
I got the Winchester crate race A main pulled up. David Kaiser.
I thought they ran limiteds.
It says I got crates on here. They got limiteds too.
Yeah, either one's fine.
I'll run through both of them. I got them both pulled up. But David Kaisner, the 11K, yeah, he picked up the win over Kyle Hardy, Gregory Carrico. There you go. Tyler Hoy 4th, Jeremiah Marshall 5th, Stephen Payne 6th, Sean Wetzel 7th, Richard Hawkins 8th, Isaiah Gucci.
Yeah.
Good buddy Isaiah, don't know his last name though. And then Jacob Burnetta. Round out the top 10. Not good with these last names. Then for the limiteds, you had Kyle Hardy picked up the win over Buddy Tharp Jr., James Leachletter. There you go. Jonathan DeHaven, Dale Hollidge, Austin Stover, Gerald Davis, Michael Carter, Mike Franklin, and Michael Alderman. Round out your top 10.
So there's Winchester. I just knew, I was talking to somebody, and I knew that they were running, so I figured we'd give them a little rundown as they were racing this week. But with that being said, I believe we're going to start previewing some races coming up. With that being said, I'm going to start with the XRSS. We'll do all pick them at once. So we got the XRSS at 300 Raceway. They got $50,000 to win. Super late models on the first night. Second night's got first night's $50,000 on the second night. Something to keep an eye on. I assume most of the Lucas Oil drivers, World of Outlaws drivers, will be there. But I don't know where. It'll be a drive.
Lucas Oil won't be.
They run Sunday.
Saturday, Portsmouth.
Oh, they do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, never mind. Whoa.
What?
How's Ricky Thornton name, right? Because Ricky Thornton's running the 100,000. They got 100,000 to win pure stock street stock race. So how's Ricky Thornton going to run Portsmouth unless they've got it scheduled to not interfere with that?
The 31st is when they're running at Portsmouth.
All right, Myrtle, talk a little bit about the XRSS then. I'm going to pull something up.
XRSS race. I ain't got that pulled up. Hold up. Pause 10 seconds.
Pause 10 seconds for station identification.
Cool. Race pass ain't got nothing except for super late models and stock cars. That don't help me.
All right. right, here's RTJ posted something about it because I know he's getting ready to run the 100,000 to win street stock race or pure stock, whatever it is. They call it stock cars.
It's probably the IMCA stock cars or something.
Friday is the 100,000 to win.
Oh.
So
Well, for supers, it's Saturday for the 50, so that makes sense. Then.
So Saturday, yeah. So there won't be a lot of Lucas. There won't be any Lucas Oil guys at the XR on Saturday. But Ricky Thornton is going to be in the pure stock, street stocks, whatever it is.
They call them stock cars. That's all we got.
Yeah, he's going to be heading that way, and then he's going to make the trip to Portsmouth, and then we got the Hillbilly 100 coming up this weekend. Ray Scott Bloomquist won. Is off the top of my head. I'll pull up last year's winner if you got anything to talk about it on it, Myrtle.
No, not really. I mean,
you're such a good podcast.
I'm sorry. I've never been to Tyler County. I've never watched the Hillbilly 100.
All I've heard that it's really dusty.
I heard that from Logan, but it's kind of weird. Like going to Portsmouth right now this time of year anyway. Like they used to do it at the end of the year.
At the end of the year, but now that's the
Eldora.
Eldora's the.
You know what they ought to do? You know what they should have done at the beginning of the year? Speaking of Lucas Oil, they should have went to East Bay. At least it'd been a whole lot warmer down there.
I forgot about that. They got East Bay coming up too. That's pretty cool.
Like they should have went to East Bay for the finale. At least it'd been warm. Just go somewhere south. Don't go somewhere in Ohio where it's freezing cold. Like they went to Portsmouth and then they went to Eldora, which is in the same state. Pick another state.
All right, last year's winner was Jonathan Davenport. Before that, Kyle Larson in 22. Rain Covet. Josh Richards in 19. Overton in 18. Brandon Overton. Jonathan Davenport in 17. Scott Bloomquist in 16. Scott Bloomquist in 15. Don O'Neill in 2014. Jimmy Owens in 2013. Mike Marlar in 2012. 2011, Rain. Scott Bloomquist in 2010. Ray Cook in 2009. 2008 was Jimmy Owens. 2007, Eddie Carrier Jr., who I mentioned will be there racing. 2006, EPJ, Earl Pearson Jr. 2005, Clint Smith. 2004, Mike Marlar. Chubb Frank in 03. Billy Moyer in 02. 01 was Donnie Moran. Davey Johnson in 2000, Davey Johnson in 99, Steve Schaefer in 98, 97 was Rod Conley, Todd Andrews in 96, Bart Hartman in 95, 94 was Billy Fry, 93 was Davey Johnson, 92 was Rodney Combs, 91 Rodney Combs, 90 was Buck Simmons, 89 was Donnie Moran, 88 was Donnie Moran, Jack Boggs in 87, 86 was Jack Boggs in 85, Larry Moore in 84.
Hey, and your name.
83, Freddie Smith, 82, Charlie Schwartz, Freddie Smith in 81, Rodney Combs in 80, Danny Dean in 79. How many years of this race? This is a long race. All right, hopping to the start of it, 67, Don Gregory. 68 was Ray Neese. 69 rained out. 70 was Clay Hudson. 71 was Danny Dean. 72 was Josh Wishkerver. 73 was Bob Waring Sr. 74 was Bob Waring Sr. 75 was Bob Waring Sr. 76 was Bob Waring Sr. 77 rained out. 78 was Gene McNeely, and I think that leads us back to where I let off. So, a lot of winners.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd give a rundown. I had it in front of me, so I just gave.
I didn't think it was that long, though.
I didn't know they raced that long. But so that's coming up this weekend. We'll have our pick 'em. I think I got to pick 'em on that one. So, with that being said, let's get into some more rundowns. We don't have any World of Outlaws this week. You got Hunt. Is the Hunt front running? No, they're off as well.
Off.
We got World 100 coming up next week.
Another bigger race this weekend is Crate Racing USA 604s. They're running East Bay for $10,000 to win.
So another big race at East Bay. Check that out as they're closing down. I've seen a lot of good crate racing action there. Labor Day weekend this weekend.
Then you got the Mid-East Supers as well, running $10,000 to win at Livonia.
All right, so we got another show there. Entrance expect there's a lot of the Ultimate, the Carolina Class drivers, stuff like that. Hunt the Front drivers possibly.
For a test session.
You'd see a lot. It's gonna be a good divided weekend this weekend. You're gonna have a lot of guys go to the Hillbilly 100. A lot of guys go to the XRSS, and then you're gonna have a lot of guys go to these Carolina shows, especially Hunt the Front guys. I expect to see Brandon Overton at the Hillbilly 100 probably, and probably Sportsman.
Or a lot of the super guys trying to run crates this weekend.
Yeah,
especially in this area.
So anything other bigger coming up? We got ULMS at Bedford, 12,055 to win. That's going to get most of your northern crowd. Expect Greg Zattery, Rick Eckert.
And Drake Troutman's going to be in his new Viper ride.
Yeah, Martin wants to talk about that. Go ahead.
I seen Sean Martin made a Facebook post. He said it was going to be a limited schedule in the Viper car. So basically, he's going to keep his ride for the Lucas Oil the rest of the year, but then when the weekends at Lucas Oil is off, he's going to run the Viper and special events, and like this coming up weekend, he's going to be running it. So just guess maybe we might be able to see him be in the Viper Motorsport ride full time next year, possibly. Who knows?
That is a possibility. I know he was also in the conversation with the Rocket One house car, so maybe that might be something at the end of the year, depending on how that goes. With that being said, anything else?
A lot of your big races are local rundown this week, honestly.
Port Royal, they got limited 3,000 to win. County Lines got limited 3,000 to win. Expect a lot of the steel block guys to go to that.
I see Port Royal's got a super race, 7,300 to win.
That's probably UMS, isn't it?
No, it just says supers.
So a lot of the Bedford guys that run UMS Friday will probably, that's a Labor Day 55, I believe is what it called, 12,055 to win. A lot of the super guys will probably head that way. They also.
Hey guys, it's Myrtle with the Get Top Podcast. I'm sorry that it cut out again. iPad ran out of storage. So what you missed was kind of the Port Royal running supers at 12,000 to win, and then the limiteds at Port Royal 3,000 win, and then you have the American All-Star Series with the local rundown is a 5,000 win Natural Bridge, 10,000 win at Beckley, and a 10,000 win at Withville. 3-day event, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Come check it out, and then I think they said Winchester has a 4,000. Just check out locally tracks. If I missed any, I'm sorry. Just trying to do it on the fly, but check out the end of the video. Try to add some clips of the new go-kart track.
All right, we're back here on the Get the Top podcast. We got Steve Harrison, sportsman driver at Natural Bridge Speedway. How you doing today, Steve?
Good. How y'all doing today?
Pretty good. Enjoy having you on. So, Myrtle, what you got for him?
Right here, you could notice I'm stuttering. I don't know what happened. I just couldn't get the question out. But Kyle ended up answering it for me.
Tell us a little about yourself and about your racing program and what you got going on.
Okay. My name is Stephen Harrison. I've been around racing probably since 2009, I'd say. Larry Ramsey is my brother-in-law. So I was around the track when he owned it, and then been around him and watched him race, and then good friends with the Bears as well, and Billy Beechler, and just everybody in the county kind of, all one big happy family, I guess you'd say. But I've been around and watched it, and watched a lot of races and learned a lot. And so last year, with the influence of my little boy, I decided to buy a car.
There you go.
So here we are.
So besides this week, I know obviously I wanted to bring you on because you had a good run this week, but we'll get into that. But what's your racing gone so far? How's it gone for you besides up to this week?
Last year I bought a car, a Masterbuilt car last year, and just kind of had a rough go of it. Of course, it takes a lot of seat time, and I think the more laps you get in, the better you get as far as that goes. And getting the car to where it feels right for a certain driver is not always the same as for the next driver. So, kind of been a clip on a car last year, and just kind of struggled a little bit last year, but I was bound and determined, to try to get better. And so this year, spent a lot of time on the car this year. I kept the car at Larry Ramsey's shop, and Chuck helps Larry. He helped me a lot with the car, and Larry did as well. And so just kind of went through the car. Got another car last year. Got Sean Wetzel's old Sportsman car last year, and with the help of Chuck and Larry and Tyler and Booper and everybody that's, I could name 1,000 people. Carrie, Terry Breeden's helped me with my carburetor. The Bryant, Samuel's daddy Fred has helped me figure out a miss. So, I mean, it's been, I could go on and on with the people that help out, but just spent a lot of time over the winter getting the car, maintenance wise, getting the car right. And then, the second week of practice, blew a right front tire and just crammed the wall. So had to replace the whole right side, but the car has just gotten better and better every week, and we're finally, it's getting out of where we can compete a little bit, and it's good to see, your hard work pay off. So.
Right, and I led into it, and you kind of led into it, but this weekend you got your first podium finish, came home third. Talk to us a little bit about this weekend and your good run.
Yeah, last week I run, and I felt like the car was really good. It was close. Might have been a little bit more traction in the track last week than this week, but I guess with the weather being, a little cooler last week, but the car was really good, and I just kind of rode. I didn't really push the limits with it, and so this week I was like, I'm gonna go out here and I'm just gonna, I'm gonna see what it can do, and so qualified I think 6th, and Cowboy had won last week, so they inverted us. And I just remember, first thing I did was my little boy, Brody, he's my crew chief. He helps me with a lot of stuff that people don't see, and my wife does too. Carrie, she's very supportive. She got me a new fire suit last week. So, but Brody come up to the car, and I just told him, I said, let's just pray. We'll just say a quick prayer, and we'll put it in God's hands for tonight. And so we did, and went out there, and I just remember Booper saying, drive out past the carburetor and make sure you watch and see what you're doing, where you're going, and so started the race, and was just kind of cruising, rode 12 or 13 laps, and had a big caution, and I think I started after that caution. I think I was starting 6th after the caution, and I saw John Jennings was standing in infield, and he was just kind of giving me some direction as to where to go, and so I tried what he was saying, and then we had another big caution, and I avoided that as well, and starting with I think 10 or 11 to go, I was up to 3rd and just kind of cruised around there, and when they threw the checkers, there I was. So
there you go.
It was a good race. I just kind of kept my nose clean, and it paid off. So.
Well, that's good. So before we let you go, I know in racing there's a lot of people that help, and you've already mentioned a few, but I know you got some sponsors and stuff. You want to give them a shout out, and some other people you might want to thank?
Sure. Yeah, I got some sponsors on the car. I've got Lanita Specialized, Pennsylvania guy, and then I got Rob Garver Trucking from Ohio. I've got Taylor Lester Photography on the car. I've got Rising Sun Farm there in Fairfield on the car. Michael Earhart Excavating on the car. Dottie's Country Stores on the car. We got Rockbridge Rental on the car. The tent rental with Austin Ramsey, and then we got Circle C Auction Company with Cody Manspile on the car. Good friend of mine from Grottoes, Uncle Mojo, we call him, Mojo Acres. We got him on the car. My daddy's Stonewall Brittany's from Harrisonburg. He raises Brittany Spaniels, got him on the car. And of course, Nathan Deacon Trucking, he's on the car as well. And then we got Leslie Excavating on the car as well. Good friends of ours. All of them are good friends, and I really appreciate all the help they've given. Not just them, but like I said, everybody that helps. Even you, Kyle. You've helped me out, and Brian, and I mean, you just can't name everybody. And something's wrong, people jump in and help, and it's really appreciative. So, yeah. But yeah, I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for the people that help out, and it makes it we get to have fun on Friday and Saturday nights. So.
Yep, and it's always, it's tough sometimes, but it's always fun. So we appreciate you coming on, Steve, and hopefully we'll catch up after that first Sportsman feature win.
Yeah. Hopefully next time we talk to you, it's a win under our belt. So yeah. But enjoy what y'all are doing, and appreciate I listen in to all your podcasts. I appreciate y'all starting this.
Yep, not a problem. Well, thanks for coming on, Steve.
All right, buddy. Y'all have a good evening.
All right,
You
see
too.
you.
All right, see ya.
Well, that was Steve Harrison. Good interview, good friend of mine. I know he said kind of thanks to you, Kyle. Yeah, I've helped him out a little bit here and there as I can. Just a local natural bridge driver that's a close friend of mine. I'll give him a. We're pre-recording this because, like I said, I've done this before, but because of people's schedules and our schedules, we pre-record the interviews so we can get them and let them have the rest of their evening. So, but we'll give him a little more of an introduction, and you'll hear that. This will be before. So, but yeah, he's a good friend of mine, and so yeah, just a local racer. So a lot of these local guys, unless you're enemies, you're always chipping in and trying to help out pretty much anybody that you can and anybody that you know.
Especially when anybody has a flat tire in the infield, everybody jumps in on that.
There's a lot of people, especially at local tracks. I remember the teams I worked for, and so we have a flat tire. I mean, it's people like the normal crew that goes. You're like, oh, ready to do it, and there's already 5 people already jumped in, starting to do it. So
We had a flat tire this year. We had Logan Robertson,
yeah.
his dad, and his crew, and all them, and then R.W. Armstrong. We had a bunch of guys over there.
So yeah, it's just the local family, local racing. So with that being said, I think that's it for today's episode. Merle, you got anything else?
That's it, buddy.
I'd like to remind to share. We are going to do the people that already shared this post from last week. We're going to double them up. You get double the entries for the gift cards. I know we kind of did it short notice. We're going to do it a little bit more time. Double the entries. If you share this one again, so the people that did share it, you share this one or the YouTube, whatever it may be, you get double entries. And then if you want to share this episode, you'll be entered as well for the gift card to the Palms in Lexington. Like I said, we got some at the Bistro coming up, and more from the Palms. So just stay tuned to that, and we're probably going to change up some ideas on how we're going to give those away. So stay tuned for that. Just one big thanks to all of our sponsors: S&S Seal Coat Driveway Repair, Jennings Property Solutions, Smith Farm Equipment Repair, J. Word Groom with Long and Foster Real Estate. Missing anybody, Myrtle?
That's all of them, buddy.
Okay, so yeah, just check that out. We're working on a few things to continue to grow this, and appreciate y'all listening. With that being said, I feel like I got one more thing, and I can't think of it, Myrtle. With that being said, I don't think I can remember off the top of my head. If I remember it, I'll put it in the earlier segment. It's like I said, it's pre-recorded. So with that being said, we'll catch you in the next episode. See you.
Here's some small clips from the go-kart track that just got built. Just figured fill some time. That's a clone motor right there. The Honda clone motor with Kyle driving the first couple laps. And right here where Kyle's about to run off, I did end up running off at right there later on in the night. Too bad we didn't get a video, but it was also dark. And here's Kyle taking some laps in the Predator. Too bad he didn't get no videos of